It's like one player on the sideline.
Hey, what's up? Hey, did Rachel get you?
I know. It just happened. No email.
No, they're here. It is this room. I do not have No, I'm not allowed to. I'm on so they tell me not to do it. Normally test her when she's out.
Because someone comes in for
Hi, checking in.
And you are?
I'm Edward Fidel for David Williams.
Okay, if you want to try to make your way.
Okay, I'm gonna fight through it. That's a $5 cover. Yeah. I'm trying to skip the line.
It's a little bit.
Oh, it's so fun. Does he have kids with her? Like, she's 26. Yeah, they're real.
Yep.
That's nice. That's a really good time. Oh, there you go. And we're all alone. Yeah. That's wonderful that things can work together. Oh my God. And more kindness and collaboration and courteousness and stuff like that.
Hey, Kat, you handle the board? We're just getting a little bit. And I don't think we have.
I love. She's like, I want to marry her. Okay, well, you're not old enough for this shit. That's what I told her. And this one was only 80 bags. I really want to show it to you. I know, it's disgusting. He told me last time it was over a year to homework. Mine is her hair too. That's his.
Otherwise, you go out.
That's from the other one. Look at that rose gold. I love it. I get it.
We have your
After that, you talk to the deputies over here. They're running in for warrants. That's for a while.
You guys, gotta make it go. Slide out, 679-446. Yes, that's hard, pre-signed. He's got how many kids? He's got more than one. Alright, we're good? Yep. Thank you.
This is the first appearance? Or are these something else? Yeah, these are the first appearance. You're the first appearance time? First appearance time? We have some where the cake hardworking young man. Oh, there I was. So I'm not sure.
When you get called up, come to the left of the podium. All right, once you're done being arraigned, just come and see me and we'll give you the paper. That piece of paper is going to have your bond information, next court date, and who your attorney is. Please come have a seat over here when you're done. All right, everybody got your copy before you walk out that door. So you can actually hear your process. Okay? Thank you. No cell phones, please, in the court session.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Richard A. Bell presiding.
Good morning, everyone. Please be seated. We're going to read the rights first, so the attorneys may all have an opportunity to check in. And you are muted. Thank you. Morning, Maureen. Yes on all of these media sheets. I'll sign it, but they're all yes. Yes. Morning. How are you? Just doing well. Morning, deputies. All right, it is my duty to advise the defendants in the courtroom of your constitutional rights. These instructions are important. Please listen carefully. Still muted. Thank you for that. It is my duty to advise the defendants in the courtroom and in the jail of your constitutional rights. These instructions are important. Please listen carefully. Under the Constitution of the United States and the state of Ohio, persons charged with the commission of an offense are guaranteed basic certain rights. These are the right to know and understand the charges against you, the right to a speedy trial, the right to a trial by a jury. You may waive or give up that right and have your case tried by a judge without a jury. The right for a trial, the state of Ohio has the burden to prove your guilt by evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. The right to meet your accusers face-to-face and to cross-examine the witnesses for the prosecution. The right to summon or subpoena witnesses on your behalf. You do not have to testify against yourself. The right to counsel. If you are unable to afford an attorney, the court will appoint a lawyer to defend you. You will be assessed a $25 fee for an appointed attorney. You will not be denied an attorney if you are unable to pay this fee. At the end of your case, you may be ordered to pay the fee if your judge determines that you are financially able. If you choose to hire your own attorney, you may have a right to a reasonable continuance to hire one. You are not here for the trial of your case. You are here for your arraignment. An arraignment is an opportunity to be informed of the charges against you, for the bond to be set, and for you to enter your plea. You do not have to make any statement about the charges against you, but any statement made may be used against you. As your name is called, please step forward. You will be asked when you received a copy of your indictment or information and whether or not you understand the charges against you. By law, you have 24 hours before you must respond to the indictment or information. If it has been less than 24 hours since you received a copy of your indictment or information, but you wish to be arraigned anyways, you may waive the 24-hour notice, and we will complete your arraignment this morning. If your case is going forward by information, I will ask your attorney to place on the record that they discussed with you waiving the presentment of your case to the grand jury. Are there any informations to that?
Not that I'm aware of.
You will be asked how you plead. A defendant may plead not guilty by reason of insanity, guilty, or with the consent of the court, no contest. If you want to plead guilty, and you do not have a lawyer, the court will assign counsel for you so you may have a full understanding of your constitutional rights. Your case will be assigned to a judge whether you plead guilty or not guilty. If you refuse to plead, the court will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. If you have been charged with a crime of violence and or any drug offense under Ohio law, you cannot knowingly have, carry, or use a firearm or dangerous weapon until your case is concluded. This is called being under a disability. If you violate this disability, you could be charged with a separate felony offense in addition to the original charge you are being arraigned for today. Even if you have a CCW permit, you are still under a disability until your case is over. In fact, upon indictment, the sheriff who issued the permit shall suspend it until your case is over. Finally, if you are over 18 and have not provided a DNA specimen since 2011, you may be required to submit one within 24 hours of your arraignment. Inmates in the county jail have the right to be present in the courtroom. I'll ask the deputy, do any of them wish to be in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. This concludes the reading of the arraignment room instructions and constitutional rights. Let's call the first case.
We'll start with the courtroom. Tyler Munson, 679-019, co-defendant A. This is a re-indictment of 674-788.
Good morning, Mr. Bondra.
Morning, Judge. How are you this morning?
Doing well.
Judge, respectfully, Anthony Bondra and Joseph Delgado, on behalf of the defendant, will now proceed with the indictment in excess of 24 hours. Waive this reading this morning and respectfully enter a not guilty plea and ask the court to consider the same personal bond as any other cases.
The bond will be set at the recommended bond from the bond commissioner. It's set at $10,000 personal bond. There will be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Judge sharing the day. Your first pretrial is April 11th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Come over by me, please.
Same case, co-defendant H. Trey Jerron Robinson.
Morning, Your Honor. Paul Diker, 440-287-7880.
Good morning, Mr. Diker.
On behalf of Mr. Dana Robinson, Your Honor, we acknowledge you received an indictment more than 24 hours ago. Waive reading an indictment like that or not guilty plea on his behalf. I'd like to ask that the recommended bond be adopted by this court.
The recommended bond will be adopted by the court. It is set at a $10,000 personal bond. There will be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir? All right. Your judge is Judge sharing the day, and your first pretrial is April 11th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Same case, co-defendant E. John Hartman.
Here you go, sir.
Good morning, Ms. Brennan.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you this morning?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. Allison Brenneman, 0088018, on behalf of Mr. Hartman. We've had the indictment in excess of 24 hours. We'll waive reading of the indictment on the record, enter a plea of not guilty, and ask for a personal bond to be set in this matter.
The court will follow the recommended bond. It'll be set at $10,000 personal bond. There will be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
There will be some DNA that will be collected. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your judge, Judge Sherry Midday, and your pretrial date is April 11th, also at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Understood, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Good to
welcome.
see you.
Thank you.
Same case, co-defendant C. Kyle Wood.
Ms. Coral. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Kimberly Kendall-Brawl on behalf of Kyle Wood. We acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive any manner, any defect in their time or service, enter a plea of not guilty, ask that bond be continued, and that matter is set for pretrial.
The original bond will be set. It'll be a $10,000 personal bond. There will be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your judge is Judge Sherry Midday, also first pretrial date of April 11th at 9 o'clock.
Same case, co-defendant B. Brian Stoll.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, how are you?
Doing well, Your Honor.
See you,
Please
Mr.
report to me, Christman, on behalf of Brian Stoll. Your Honor, he's in receipt of his indictment in excess of 24 hours. He entered a plea of not guilty and on the request of reasonable bond, he said.
The bond will be set at the recommended amount, $10,000 personal bond. There'll be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Your judge is Judge Sherry Midday. First pretrial is April 11th at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Same case, co-defendant F. Christian Holman. Lead counsel here. Sean?
Your Honor, Sean Moore.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sean Moore for the public defender, 007-5929 for Mr. Holman for today. We would enter a not guilty plea, acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive reading of it, and any defects in time, manner, service in the 24-hour notice period. We would ask that private counsel be appointed to represent Mr. Holman and that the court order the recommended personal bond.
The bond will be set at $10,000 personal bond. There will be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Your DNA will also be collected upon processing. Your judge is Judge Sherry Midday, and your first pretrial, April 11th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Court will assign Attorney Brian McGraw. You're welcome.
Same case, co-defendant D. Daniel Toomer. Lead counsel here as well.
Dan Michelle.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Toomer, we would enter a plea of not guilty, acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive reading of it, and any defects in time, manner, service in the 24-hour notice period. We would ask that private counsel be appointed in this matter as well, and that the court order the recommended personal bond.
The recommended bond will be $10,000 personal bond. There will be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir? Your judge will be Judge Sherry Midday, April 11th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Your attorney assigned will be Attorney Dan Mishevitz.
Same case, co-defendant I. Ian McGinnis. I meant to take that sticky off. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Gabrielle Toklas for Ian McGinnis. We would acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive reading of the complaint, waive any defects in service, and enter a not guilty as to all charges. And we would also ask that this court grant the recommended personal bond.
Recommended bond is set at $10,000 personal bond. The court approves that. There'll be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And your DNA must be collected at the time of processing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your judge is Judge Sherry Midday. Your first pretrial, April 11th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And then next we'll call Brian Parks, 679017.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr.
Attorney
Hunter.
Zach Humphrey on behalf of Mr. Parks. This time we would reading notice, enter a plea of not guilty, and ask that Your Honor follow the bond recommendation.
The bond will be set at $10,000 personal bond. There'll be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir? Your DNA will also be collected at the time of processing. Do you understand that, sir? Your judge is this correct?
So this is the only one that's
Yes.
on a separate.
Is Judge Cassandra Collier Williams. Your first pretrial, April 11th at 9 o'clock.
And then we will go back to case number 679019, co-defendant G. Reese Mans. And we will need counsel, Your Honor.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Mans, we would enter a plea of not guilty, acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive reading of it, and any defects in time, manner, or service in the 24-hour notice period. We would ask that private counsel be appointed to represent Mr. Mans and that the recommended personal bond be ordered.
The bond will be set at $10,000 personal bond. There'll be no contact with the victim. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And your DNA will be collected at the time of processing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Court will assign Attorney Charles Morgan. Your judge is Judge Sherry Midday, and your first pretrial is April 11th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Step over.
Okay, so that's all that's all the East Cleveland. I don't know if you guys want to clear out.
You're welcome. Take care, guys. Good to see you again.
Great seeing you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Who's that, you?
Good to see your student employer.